Before we begin tonight's broadcast, the Washita Sports Digital Network would like to dedicate this broadcast to the memory of former Henderson State Sports Information Director Mike Dugan, who passed away Thursday. Tonight's game will be the first time during a Washita versus Henderson basketball game that Mike, an avid fan of all things Ready, won't follow the game or look at the score and hope that he can give a hard time to his good friend and Washita alum Rex Nelson if the Henderson teams come out on top. Echoing the sentiments of our good friend Sam Strachner from Arkansas Tech in a similar gesture Thursday night, OSDN offers our prayers and well wishes to Mike's family upon his sudden passing. Mike was an authority on Arkansas sports history, particularly the Arkansas Intercollegiate Conference and everything baseball in our state. Mike was one of the driving forces behind the Hot Springs Baseball Trail and the annual Hot Springs Baseball Weekend that brought former big leaguers to our area, some of whom are enshrined in Cooperstown. Most recently, Mike assisted the Washita Sports Digital Network in connecting us with authorities on the history of Negro League baseball in our state on a project we're working on regarding the rich history of Negro League baseball in our town of Arkadelphia. In sports, there are rivalries and competition among coaches, players, and fans. The Washita-Henderson rivalry is one like few other, if any. Among athletic communications professionals who work together more often than not during a given school year, there was also a professional working relationship built upon respect and friendship. Mike was a part of that brotherhood of legends in our state, working with those who helped document history among our state colleges. Max Sisson of Washita, Larry Smith of Arkansas Tech, Harold Jameson of Southern Arkansas, Stan Green of Harding, and Mike Dugan are some of those who were such giants in the field and laid the foundation for athletics among our Arkansas schools who now compete in the Great American Conference. So as we begin this broadcast of Washita Baptist University basketball as the Tigers host the Reddies, we honor the memory of Mike Dugan, who knows the history of this matchup as well as anybody and spent years telling the stories of historic matchups in the days of the AIC between Carolyn Moffitt and Jane Sevier and between Bill Vining, Don Dyer, and Grady Bean. Our thoughts and prayers to his wife Susan, daughter Mary Kate, and their families, as well as the many people across the state of Arkansas who knew Mike through the world of Arkansas sport. Mike Dugan will be missed, but his work will live on through the history of Arkansas sport, particularly in the world of baseball and in the history books of his beloved Reddies.
The Washita Tigers started the season with 2 losses, at Harding and then at Southern Arkansas. They were supposed to come home to Bill Vining Arena to take on their rival, the Reddies of Henderson State, here in Arkadelphia at Bill Vining Arena on January the 11th. That did not happen. The next 4 Washita games would be postponed due to COVID-19 protocols. After that, a win on January 23rd in what finally became the Washita home opener, a 78-74 victory against the Bisons from Harding. But then 4 consecutive losses from Washita. The first loss after that win against Harding was just across the street at the Duke Wells Center, and what did become the first matchup against their rival on January 25th at Henderson in what was really a blowout win for the Reddies. They led big time at half and never looked back. 96-67 the final against Washita. And then Washita traveled down to Magnolia to take on Southern Arkansas. Then at home against Monticello in what was a great college basketball game, but the pesky Boll Weevils defeated the Tigers 81-79. Another loss in Magnolia to the Mule Riders, and then a win against Harding. Washita with just 2 wins this year, both against Harding. Tonight, they take on their rival, the Henderson State Reddies, for the second time this season. It's Monday Night Madness here. It's rivalry night, and we're glad to be playing basketball. Washita, led by head coach Dennis Nutt in his 10th season, a record of 2-6, 2-5 in conference play. Jimmy Elgis, his 6th year, leading the Reddies conference champions a year ago. 4-6 and 4-6 in conference play. It's going to be a fun matchup. Henderson losing their last contest out. Ouachita winning their last contest. And, it's a year where you'd say throw out the record books anyways. And in a rivalry game, that is the case. You'll throw all of that out. And so it should be a fun one here tonight. The Ouachita women lost a little bit earlier by 10, 71-61. And so if there's going to be a split here tonight, the Ouachita Tigers will need to pick up the victory. Here's the Great American Conference schedule. Arkansas, Monticello, and Southern Arkansas have already started, and that score is a close one. Last update we had, it was SAU leading Monticello 58-53. They started at 6 o'clock tonight because their women's game was canceled. Oklahoma Baptist at Southern Nazarene. East Central is at Southeastern. Harding at Arkansas Tech. And the Southwestern-Northwestern game in the Western Division was canceled tonight. So 5 games in the Great American Conference, 3 on the Arkansas side, none bigger than this one here inside Bill Vining Arena. It's Henderson, it's Ouachita, it's the rivalry matchup, and it's coming up next. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Ouachita and Henderson coming up. You saw the opening video presentation. We're broadcasting this game tonight in memory of Mike Dugan, former sports information director at Henderson State. Nobody better in this state at understanding what baseball meant to Arkansas, what sports in general meant to Arkansas, and a fantastic video presentation put together by Chris Babb and the members of the Ouachita Sports Digital Network earlier tonight. So we do broadcast this game tonight in honor of the former sports information director at Henderson, Mike Dugan, and my condolences to his family, his daughter, and his wife, and a very sudden passing. We've got about 3.5 minutes on the clock until Dr. Casey Model takes over courtside with the introduction of the starting lineups. It is nice to see fans in the stands. How about that? Great American Conference amending their policy from earlier this year. And in February, fans now able to attend, but on a very limited basis. Each player is able to invite up to 4 guests to attend, and that is for the home team only. The visitors not allowed to bring fans into the game. And it was really a bit of an eerie feeling seeing that earlier because, you'll see fans typically go to the concession stand somewhere else. But at the end of that women's game, everybody had to clear out, and the gym just became silent and empty again. And it's much more fun when you got the music going and the fans ready for a good game. So we're just about ready for that. Let's look at some of the numbers and how these two teams stack up against each other. 73 points a game for Henderson. That puts them right about middle of the pack in the league, 5th, in fact, in scoring. Ouachita is at 68%. That's 10th best in the league. Ahead of only Northwestern and Southern Nazarene, 2 teams from the Western Division. Henderson shooting at 44%, 32.8% from three-point range. That's going to be a factor in any college basketball game these days. How well can a team shoot from the outside? And we know that Ouachita likes to grind it out, take that shot clock down, and if they have Matt Stanley, Leon Kalinic, some of those big guys playing well, they don't need the deep ball. But it doesn't hurt if you can get some of them involved. 2 of the best free throw shooting teams in the league. In fact, Ouachita was up to number 2 at one point. That's 71.6%, has dropped them down to 4th best in the league at this time. Ouachita giving up 77 points a game, Henderson giving up 71 a game, and Henderson out rebounding Ouachita 38-33, the advantage there. Talking with Coach Dennis Nutt, he says his team's got to limit turnovers. Averaging nearly 18 a game is just too high, whereas Henderson's nearly at that number at almost 17 a contest. And sometimes what you're going to see with Ouachita, when they grind it out the way they do, you just don't see as many assists as maybe other teams might have, but the stats are comparable there with both teams averaging 11 assists per game. That's the stat matchup tonight. Ouachita and Henderson just a couple of minutes away from the start of this one. And big special thanks to Matthew Branch for all of our graphics tonight, all of the others that were involved in that as well. Just about ready to get this one started. Ouachita is huddling up with about a minute still on the clock. Henderson was a little bit later coming out onto the court. They put 30 minutes on the clock, and Ouachita went right to it in their warm-up. So they've been out there on the floor warming up now for a solid 30 minutes. And Henderson joined them a little bit later. But they've been out there about 22 minutes or so, I guess you would say. And we'll get to the starters just as soon as we have those for you. Here's what it looks like for Henderson State. Number 0, Xavier Davenport. Davenport is a 6'3", 180 senior from Brooklyn, New York. Transfer a couple of seasons ago, coming way of Navarro College in Texas. Number 3, Jeremiah Toney, also a senior. This is a veteran team, the Reddies. 6'5", 200-pound senior out of Little Rock at the forward spot. Quan Marshall, a 6'2", 177-pound senior from Little Rock. Malik Riddle is pretty much new to this lineup this year, a freshman from Tulsa, Oklahoma, 6'4", 215, guard and forward position, and also a returner, senior Raekwon Rogers, wearing number 32, 6'8", 230 pounds. He's a load inside, the forward from Little Rock, Raekwon Rogers. So again, for Henderson, actually it's going to be Malik Riddle. We got him in there. So Davenport, Toney, Marshall, Riddle, and Rogers. Starting 5 for Henderson. And now the starters for the Ouachita Tigers. Looks like this for Ouachita. Get that graphic up in just a second. Number 0, Marvin Williams-Dunn, a 6'2", 183-pound freshman from Auckland, New Zealand, averaging just 3 points a game, plays 21 minutes a contest. Davion Bankston, wearing number 22, the 6'6", 180-pound junior out of Little Rock, a transfer from NOC Tonkawa, averaging 10 points and 6 rebounds a game in 27 minutes of action. Number 21, Kendarius Smith, the 6'2", 195-pound senior mainstay for the Ouachita Tigers out of Conway. The guard's averaging 14 points a game in 29 minutes a contest, and it's good to see Leon Kalinick back in the lineup. The 6'9", 225-pound sophomore from Slovenski Brad, Croatia, averaging 6 points a game in 17 minutes per contest. And DJ Kane, wearing number 23, the 6'1", 198-pound junior out of Round Rock. The guard is averaging 12 points a game in nearly 30 minutes per contest. You'll see a lot of DJ Kane in this one. Welcome to the Monday Madness, everybody. Rivalry night in the Great American Conference. We'll put 20 on the clock. We're ready to go for the first half. Raekwon Rogers will jump in the center circle for the Henderson State Reddies against Davion Bankston. Opening tip won by the Reddies in the red uniforms. Ouachita in the home whites. Immediately a defense chant from Ouachita. Again, this is the Great American Conference Tournament champions from 2020. Game starts with a 3 from Malik Riddle. Missed it short, out of bounds. The Tigers take over. Coach Elgis has brought a winning tradition with him to Henderson, as they have had some good seasons the last couple of years. This year, regular season games matter so much when it comes to tournament time because the tournament seeding format is so much different than it has ever been. There will be no trip to Bartlesville, Oklahoma this year, where the Great American Conference Tournament has always been held in the first 9 years. Bankston caught in the air, finds Kane in the corner, drops the three. DJ hot on the mic early, 3-0. And the second Reddy's possession. Riddle took the shot a moment ago for Henderson. See if they work it inside this time. Riddle is open again. Actually, that is now going to be a three good for Henderson's Damian Deere. Tigers back in possession, minute and a half in. Each side knocking home a three. DJ Kane off the Kalinick screen. Now underneath the Kalinick. Works on Rogers. Up with a hook. And he cannot finish. Jeremiah Toney the rebound. Second time the Reddies and Tigers have matched up this season. Should have been the third matchup. One of them was postponed. A look inside, not there. Out to Rogers, up top, 15 to shoot. Rogers takes it himself, stops, and hits. Raquan Rogers fooled everybody. Looked like he was going to pass the basketball off. Just kept dribbling when the lane opened up. Henderson leads 5-3. KD Smith up top. High point score for the Tigers. Pulls up inside the three-point line. Rebound, Malik Riddle. Reddy is in possession. Xavier Davenport on the wing. Around the perimeter to Deere. Deere hitting a three earlier. Picks up his dribble, guarded by Kane. Skip pass to the corner. We got a hand check foul. Nope, out of bounds. Out of bounds. Malik Riddle. Turnover Reddies. KD Smith searching for 1,000 points for his career. He entered the season with 800. He's now 86 away from reaching 1,000. Kane from the baseline. Raquan Rogers rips down the rebound. Deere controlling, guarded by Marvin Williams-Dunn. Now Davenport lost it. Kalinick picks it up, gives to Smith. KD Smith, one-on-one, going to be called for an offensive foul. Pushing off. Well, he had his defender backpedaling pretty much the whole way there, and part of it was because of the forearm shove. First foul of the contest. Our officials, Luke Chittum, Chris Chumley, and Chris Mueller. Davenport up top, and Raquan Rogers wanted it. Low pass. Double team almost had it taken away. Rogers going to work on Kalinick. Nice move. He scores again. Raquan Rogers has hit 2 baskets already, and Henderson leads 7-3. Reddy's jumped out early last time at the Duke Wells Center to the point where Ouachita couldn't come back. Kalinick underneath. He fires quickly. Blocking foul and one for Leon Kalinick. Just turn, shoot, got the contact and going to the line. Looks like he's got a little different hairdo this year as well. Put the foul on Jeremiah Toney, his first foul against the Reddies. So Leon has played in 4 games out of the team's 8. This is his 5th game, his 4th start. Can't connect on the free throw. Nice shot there, that time from Xavier Davenport. That makes it 9-5 Reddies. Kane off the screen, hangs, jump pass. So Williams done, stolen away. Malik Riddle, one-on-one against Kane. Kane will be called for reaching in. At the first media timeout, Henderson leading Ouachita 9-5. 15:32 to play in the opening half. Back in a moment from Bill Vining Arena. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
Henderson leads after the first media timeout with 15:32 to play in the opening half. 9-5 is our score. So Ouachita already kind of starting from behind here. But it's not unusual. Looked at some numbers before their last game, and Ouachita seems to be more of a second half team. Of course, I'm sure any coach would like them to play a good, solid first half and second half, but it does seem like Ouachita can kind of adjust at halftime better than a lot of teams. You just don't want to get down too big. When they played each other on January 25th, it was 96-67, and it was 46-18 at halftime, so wasn't really much chance of a recovery there. Tomislav Miholcic is in the game for Henderson. Also Graham Chenault. And a free throw for Riddle. Free throw is good. One more for Malik Riddle, the freshman from Tulsa. Able to connect on both. Malik Riddle, averaging 14 points and 6 rebounds a game, has already been to the free throw line 45 times this season. He's going to have the basketball in his hands a lot. He's going to get fouled a lot. We've got Davion Bankston in the game, and he's got to get involved. Bankston's averaging 10 points, 6 rebounds a game. Good numbers for Ouachita this year. Williams done. And we've got offensive foul on Henderson. Miholcic called for the foul. So we are up here where the band would normally sit, back behind one of the goals. We've got the Henderson women's team below us here, able to eat and watch after their 10-point victory. Over far to my left, the Henderson radio crew, they're standing. They're going football style. And then you've got the fans off to our right. No fans to the left, which is back where the seating is for the teams and for press row. Again, limited fans in attendance for this one. 11-5, inside 15 to play first half. And conference standings, Southern Arkansas 7-2, Monticello 7-3. Huge game there between those two today. 3 is up and in from Graham Chenault. Henderson at 4-6, sitting in third place in the Eastern Division. Tech and Harding are both 3-5, and Ouachita is 2-5. A win for Ouachita, and they could climb all the way from 6th to a tie for 4th, perhaps. Matt Stanley in the game, not making the start here tonight, but he is able to get to the rim for an easy 2. Matt Stanley with his point. And by the way, Monticello has rattled off several to actually take the victory against SAU tonight, 78-69. Here's a 3 attempt, and good for Quan Marshall. Quan Marshall, the senior out of Little Rock, hits from downtown, and Henderson leads 16-7, less than 14 to go in the first half. So that's going to put SOU at 7-3. It's going to put Monticello at 8-3, and they're going to take over first place in the conference standings at this point. Again, they start at 6 o'clock tonight because their women's game was canceled. Well, same spot, same shot, different result from Marshall. He misses, and K.D. Smith has the rebound. Stanley up top, got to get him closer to the basket. He will set a screen for Lawrence Nero into the game. Nero is the senior guard out of Hot Springs, Lake Hamilton High School. Bankston up top. Bankston guarded by Tony. A look inside to Smith, not there. It'll stay with Ouachita. Decent look, couldn't quite make it happen. But there's Hobson in the game. Hobson averaging 8.8 a game, 4.6 rebounds a game. 20 minutes a contest for the junior from Hulk, Mississippi. Raekwon Rogers is back in. He'll man the middle for Henderson. And Stanley, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Rogers is very, very tough. Stanley's got a little bit of height advantage. Shot clock winding down. Did not hit the rim. And so DJ Kane throws up a prayer. Just couldn't quite make anything happen there. 10-point Reddy's advantage. Jimmy Elgus up coaching, pacing the sidelines. Coach Nutt sitting down for Ouachita. Marshall's taking a couple of three attempts, will give way to his teammate, Yuri Swinford. And Swinford is a junior from Bloomington, Illinois. Rogers, and they'll call a foul on Stanley. I don't know about that one. They're going to have to let a little bit of that go, or Stanley's going to foul out a couple of minutes. Wasn't a lot there, but Rogers did go right at him. First foul on Stanley, third foul against Ouachita in the opening half. Marshall will inbound. We'll see Alex Scariolo into the game. Redshirt freshman out of Spain. His dad, an assistant coach for the Toronto Raptors. 10-point Reddy's advantage. Wide open inbound on the corner, and the three won't go. Got to block that off a little bit better. Rogers, offensive rebound, and another possession for Henderson. Just inside the three-point line, won't finish. Rogers tries to put it back in one hand. 4 looks at the rim this time for the Reddies, and they come up empty. Outlet pass to Nero. Lawrence Nero spinning, needs some help, finds Smith. Ouachita methodically running the offense. There was nothing on the fast break there a moment ago. Smith, 15-footer, finds the net, nothing more. Well, Smith wanted a foul. Stanley thought maybe it was tipped. Neither the case. Media timeout, 11:56 to play. Henderson 17, Ouachita 7. Back in a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
At the time, I just wasn't thinking. I used social media to vent. I wish I would have thought about the effects of scaring people. I didn't mean for that to happen. People took it as a terrorist. The university got shut down. I got arrested by the FBI. Now, I don't know what my future looks like. I search my name on the web almost every day. Look at the stuff. It's not going away. Think before you post.
$11:56 to play, opening half. Well, the Reddies dominating again, just like they did when they played at the Duke Wells Center a couple of weeks ago. 17-7. Yeah, this is also a bit of deja vu from our women's game a little bit earlier. In that one, the Henderson Reddies women's basketball team got up at one point by 23 points against the Ouachita Lady Tigers. Certainly hope this one doesn't get that out of hand. Game ended up being close, down to 6 points before Ouachita ultimately lost 71-61. in the women's contest. They outscored Henderson in the second half by 7 points to make that one somewhat close. A little bit of pressure in the backcourt by Lawrence Nero for Ouachita as Quan Marshall will bring the ball into the front court. Now a drive from Swinford, hanging in the air over Stanley. Back out up top to Damian Deere. Deere hit a three earlier, has been quiet since. 8 to shoot on the shot clock here. And now up top, Davenport with 4. Drives in, extra pass over. We got an offensive foul call as Stanley will fall down and take a charge. Xavier Davenport called for the foul. That's his first personal. Second team foul against Henderson in the opening half. Reddy's coming off a hard-fought 73-68 loss to Southern Arkansas on Thursday. That was in Arkadelphia. They had a win over Arkansas Tech before that, 61-53. They have had only 2 games canceled so far, one of those being against Ouachita. Collision near midcourt. K.D. Smith comes up with it. Will give to Scariolo. Pull-up 15-footer. Baseline miss. Stanley attempts to put it back in. 2 looks that time for Ouachita. No points. Henderson still by 10. And on the break the other direction. Deere is open, and he hits. Damian Deere, his second three-point make of the contest. And the junior guard out of Jackson, Mississippi, has 6. The lead has blossomed out to 13 for Henderson at 20-7 with 10.5 to play in the opening frame. Alex Scariolo. Rogers knocks it free from him. Scariolo picks it up. Ball still loose. Finally it's Stanley, and he lost it out of bounds. Well, wild possession there. Erratic might be a better way to describe it. Not what Ouachita wanted. Jeremiah Toney, Marshall, Davenport, Rogers, and Deere on the floor for Henderson. Scariolo, Hobson, Stanley, Nero, and Kane are the 5 on the floor for Ouachita. Out top, Deere wants to shoot again, wants to hit again. And Damian Deere, back-to-back three-point baskets. He's got 9. It's 23-7. Now a 3, long 3, in fact, off the back iron for Nero. Rogers, Nero, who's going to come up with it? Scariolo eventually does. Wins this year for Henderson over Arkansas Tech on January 9th. Tech again on the 21st. Ouachita on the 25th. Stanley gets deep inside and scores. So 3 wins over Arkansas Tech this year. And they only have 4 conference wins. The other one against Ouachita. They've beaten only 2 teams for their 4 conference wins. Ouachita's beaten only 1 team for their 2 conference wins. It's a wild year. There will be no games against the teams in Oklahoma until the postseason. Eastern and Western divisions this year as Kane cannot connect. Ball volleyballed free, ends up with the Reddies. But they're going to play each team. The plan was to play each team. We were, watch out here. Oh, wow, they let them play on. No foul on Rogers. 3 chances for Ouachita, and they still cannot capitalize. Well, the lid is on for Ouachita. We'll talk about that schedule in a moment. The matchup of playing teams 4 times in a season. Coach Dennis Nutt takes the timeout with 8:35 to go. We'll take it as well. The Reddies out in front early, 25-9. Back in a moment. It's the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita. Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Henderson leads 25-9. The Reddies shooting 56% from the floor. Washita 22%. And Henderson's 5 of 8 from three-point range, 62%. Meanwhile, Washita 1 of 7 from long range. That was one of our points in the pregame. You don't necessarily need just a whole bunch of threes to fall, but you need to match some of what Henderson is doing. And so far, the Reddies have made 5 three-pointers. Washita has made just 1. 25-9 our score. Reddies with the basketball. 8.5 to play in the first half from Bill Vining Arena. I'm Michael Westbrook. Thanks for being with us on the OSDN. Basket underneath for Davenport is good. So the plan at the beginning of the year was to play each team in Arkansas 4 times. And that would determine the division champ. And that hasn't exactly happened because of COVID cancellations, but they've been able to play quite a bit. Step back 3 on its way. No, long two. Long 2 for Hobson. And that is a important basket there. It's still a big ready advantage at 16. Davenport drives, and an offensive foul will be called, and now we'll have the media timeout. So they'll put the foul on Davenport, his second. Media timeout at 7:44 to play in the first half. Henderson 27, Washita 11. Back in a moment. This is the Washita Sports Digital Network.
A student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee that gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
We'll give you some scores from around the Great American Conference. Southern Nazarene leads Oklahoma Baptist in the first half with 6:27 to play. It's 20-10. Of course, after Henderson won the conference tournament last year, it had been dominated by Southeastern and Southern Nazarene the last several seasons. Speaking of the Savage Storm, they trail East Central by 1. 8 minutes to go in the first half. It's East Central 21, Southeastern 20. And Tech leads Harding 30-22 with about 6 minutes to go in the first half there. We already told you that Monticello defeated SAU 78-69 earlier tonight. So important games in the league at this point. Play resumes out of the media timeout. Washita has the basketball. And Henderson with a 16-point lead, full court pressing. So that's interesting. Nero works it over to Hobson. Hobson steps inside the three-point line, and a pure shot that time from Hobson to knock another one down. 4 from Adarius Hobson. That makes it 27-13. Talking about how Henderson had beaten Tech 3 times. They've also lost to SAU 3 times. In that game, Damian Deere went for 20 points on 7 of 12 shooting, and he has picked up where he left off in this one, hitting 3 three-pointers already in the first half. Good stop there from Washita. Kane on the wing, not there, out to Hobson. Hobson's going to pull up and shoot, missed it short. Well, he had made his last 2 attempts, so you let him shoot it there. And maybe you give it to somebody else next time down. Jeremiah Toney with it. Guarded by Bankston, and it's taken away. Scariolo, but he's got some defenders coming his way. The shot was blocked. Put back in by Lawrence Nero. Henderson racing the other direction. Jumper from inside the three-point line from Malik Riddle. Riddle hits from about 16, 17. The game has slowed down quite a bit. Scariolo, he gets deep in the lane. Alex Scariolo scores. First 2 points for Alex Scariolo. Josh Mason on the floor for Henderson. Ball in the hands of Riddle. And Riddle, too strong. Scariolo the rebound. 12-point game. Ouachita trying to get it to single digits perhaps on a three. At least down to 10. Hobson inside. No, excuse me, that is, Hobson. Yep. And Hobson can't finish that one. A lot of this happening right now with Raquan Rogers on the bench, but he and his teammates are set to check in. And one of the Henderson players actually going to play with his mask around the chin. Has he been doing that the whole game, or did he just forget to take it off? I'm not sure. That's Damian Deere. Didn't have a good look at it earlier. He might be wearing that the whole time. Well, I guess it serves as kind of a sweat guard for your chin. Yeah, Chris Babb telling me he's had it on his whole game. It's like a new wristband. Step back look there for Bankston, but no shot. Now to Smith, who's been quiet so far. Taken away. Poked free first by Marshall, picked up by his teammate. Here's Deere. He likes to shoot. Missed it. Short rebound, Ouachita. Got to get Smith going. Smith is 0 of 3 from the floor in 10 minutes. And an offensive foul is going to be called on Marvin Williams-Dunn. Pushing off. And an attempt to clear some space. Full court press from Ouachita, nearing 4 minutes to play in the first half. This game's far from over. You'd like a little bit of a momentum swing in this 4 minutes, but open shooter for Henderson. That was short, saved back in, and here comes Ouachita. Hobson lost it. It was going to be Hobson 1-on-3, maybe even 1-on-4 there. Did not work to his advantage. A turnover. Reddy's back in possession, 3.5 to go in the first half. You see Henderson starting to slow it down just a little bit. Of course, they got Rogers back in the game now. And he has been able to hit from inside. Let's see what he does here. Missed, and he's fouled on his second attempt. Rogers got some good moves around the rim. I'll put the foul on Bankston, and that'll bring us to the final media timeout of the first half. Reddy's 29, Tigers 17. Back in a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of the ordinary happens. Distracted driving kills.
(29-17) the score. 11 of 23 shooting for Henderson, 8 of 25 for Ouachita. And Henderson at 48% from the floor, Ouachita 32%. 5 of 9 from three-point range for Henderson, 1 of 7 for Ouachita. And at the free throw line, only 3 combined free throws so far in the first half. We might see that number go up a little bit. 2 of 2 for Henderson, 0 of 1 for Ouachita with 3:11 to play until halftime. 5 fouls for the Tigers and 4 for the Reddies. And we're going to have a Henderson inbound underneath their own goal. The foul on Bankston was on the floor. The foul that sent us to the media timeout. Everybody ready to go now. Juan Marshall will inbound. Goes to Deere. Stolen away by Smith. Smith has to stay in possession here. And he is able to get the ball across the half-court line without Deere taking it back from him. Last couple of possessions have not gone great for Ouachita. Here is Hobson. Good on a three. That's what you need if you're Ouachita. It's down to single digits now at 29-20. Let's see how this final 3 minutes closes out. A zone defense for Ouachita. Not that Henderson got complacent, but they certainly have slowed down. Here's Deere in the corner, launches, won't go. Bankston the rebound. A chance to get within 7 or 6 now. Ouachita just needs to continue to play their game. They don't have to go too fast. There's Hobson fading away. There wasn't a lot of passing or ball movement there on that possession. Marshall on a screen. And they're working around to Davenport. Inside 2 to play in the first half. Marshall on the wing to the baseline. Now Rogers takes over. 5 to shoot for Raekwon Rogers. Backs down his defender. Pass to Davenport underneath. Can't hold on to it, out of bounds. Jeremiah Toney is back in for the Reddies. Senior out of Little Rock, 6'5", 200-pound forward. And full court press coming from Henderson, leading by 9. Ouachita beat Harding on January the 23rd, then lost 4 straight before beating Harding again. And Harding has the top 2 scorers in the Great American Conference, but they held those guys in check in their win on Thursday in Searcy. Baseline jumper, won't go. Davenport has it. Now Davenport will give over to Toney, driving in. He's fouled. Jeremiah Toney goes to the line. And what'll just be the 3rd and 4th free throws of the first half for the Reddies. 6th team foul on Ouachita, and see, Williams Dunn is charged with his 2nd. Jeremiah Toney has played and started every game for Henderson so far this season, all 11. 24 of 42 at the free throw line, about 56.5% as he hits that one. First point today for Toney. Young man averaging double figures, 10 points and 7 rebounds a contest. He'll go 1 of 2 at the line. Matt Stanley back in for Ouachita for this final 1 minute of the first half. 10-point Henderson lead. Pretty good first half, especially the last 10, 11 minutes where it's been pretty much back and forth. Stanley free throw line draws a double. Now Williams Dunn off of the Stanley screen in the paint, almost traveled. Kane keeps it now with 5 seconds. Back over to Williams Dunn. NBA range 3. Down and in. Marvin Williams Dunn connects from deep range, making it a 7-point Henderson advantage. Hard drive in. Stanley will fall down, take another charge. Juan Marshall called for the foul, and Coach Nutt wants to take a timeout, a 30-second timeout. We'll just go ahead and stay right here as we're almost to halftime. Numbers for Ouachita individually, they have really spaced it around. Stanley has 4, Hobson with 5, Nero has 4, Scariolo has 2, Kalinick has 2, Kane with 3, and Williams Dunn has 3. K.D. Smith and Bankston, the 2 guys who you would anticipate scoring and scoring often, have not scored at all. The two combined to average 24 points a game. Katie Smith at 14, Davion Bankston at 10. So clearly the plan from Henderson has been to limit their touches and opportunities. So if you're Ouachita, you kind of sit here scratching your head a little bit and you say, well, we're down 7. Our two leading scorers, 2 of our 3 leading scorers haven't scored at all. Kane averages 12 a game. He's only got 3. And you get one more basket here. Stop Henderson. You're down 4, maybe 5. And you got guys that are going to come out strong in the second half, make this a game and turn it around. That's the way I want it to happen anyways. We'll see, I guess. All right. Marvin Williams done. Kane, Bankston, Stanley, Smith on the floor. 3-second difference between the game and the shot clock, so look for Ouachita to run this down quite a bit. 15 still to shoot. Williams done with his team down 7 over to Bankston. Now 10. Williams done. No look pass inside for Stanley, and it's out of bounds. Not a good pass. Just not the best look there. And so with 8.4 to go, shot clock turned off. Henderson should get a pretty good look. Damian Deere already hit a couple of big threes in this one. 3 seconds left. Open man, it's Tony. He'll fire. Missed it short. And that'll bring us to halftime. Henderson State Reddies lead the Ouachita Baptist Tigers at half, 30-23. When we come back, we'll have the first half numbers after an extended break here, and then we'll also give you scores from around the Great American Conference. 30-23 our score, Henderson. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of it happens. Distracted driving still.
Champions know how to seize opportunity. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. In the field, campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Welcome back to Bill Vining Arena at the halftime break. 30-27. The Henderson Reddies come across the street, and they're winning. They already won in the women's game earlier, 71-61, and now they lead the Tigers in the men's game by 7. Let's look at the first half numbers as Henderson goes 11 of 25 from the floor, 44%. They go 5 of 11 from three-point range, that's 45%. And 3 of 4 at the free throw line. 16 total rebounds, 5 assists, 10 turnovers, and 3 steals. Team numbers for Ouachita, 10 of 29 from the floor, that's 35%. 3 of 9 from three-point range, 33%. And only 1 free throw attempt. They were 0 of 1 at the free throw line. And that's the way it looks for the team numbers for Ouachita. They had 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 turnovers, and 4 steals. They have been able to limit their turnovers, so hopefully that will help them in the second half. Henderson and Ouachita both with 7 points off of turnovers. Ouachita has the advantage in the paint, 10-6. Second chance points, 4-3 in favor of Ouachita. Henderson with 3 fast break points, none for Ouachita. And the bench for Ouachita has outscored Henderson's bench 15-6. Henderson's largest lead came at the 8:20 mark of the first half. They led by 18. Their best scoring run was 9. Ouachita had a 3-point lead when they started the game on a DJ Kane three-pointer, and their largest best scoring run was 6. So Henderson's had the lead 18 minutes of the first half. That doesn't bode well for Ouachita. They need to put it together in the second half. Individual numbers, Raekwon Rogers played 13 minutes and 25 seconds in the first half, 4 points and 4 rebounds. And Xavier Davenport played 11 minutes. He had 4 points and 2 rebounds. Damian Deere, 9 points on 3 of 5 from three-point range. And Jeremiah Toney had 3 points, 5 rebounds, 2 points for Quan Marshall. And, Quan Marshall had 3 points and 3 from Graham Chenault. Ouachita was led in the first half by several players, 5 from Adarius Hobson, 4 from Lawrence Nero, 4 from Matt Stanley, 3 from DJ Kane, and 3 from Marvin Williams-Dunn, 2 from Leon Kalinic, and 2 from Alex Scariolo. The leading rebounder was actually Scariolo and Bankston, who both had 3 in the first half. So need some other guys to get involved on the glass. And DJ Kane had 2 assists in the first half as well. That's a look at our first half numbers. 30-23 is our score. Henderson has the lead. When we come back, Here in just a bit, we will check scores from around the Great American Conference. Back in a moment. This is the Washita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita. Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Washita University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Washita.
Washita. Washita.
How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
It's Washita Baptist University. Get it?
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Washita.
Look back to Bill Vining Arena. Here's some scores to pass along to you. Oklahoma Baptist at Southern Nazarene. Southern Naz leading 33-19. East Central at Southeastern, and Southeastern has the lead 41-36. Harding at Arkansas Tech 41-32. The Wonder Boys with the lead on the Bisons right now, and a final earlier tonight. UAM over SAU 78-59. Apologies, couldn't hear me very well. I switched to the mask for just a moment, and so it's a little bit muffled. We'll get back to the shield in just a moment. That got a little bit blurry. So let's take one more break, and we're about 5 minutes away from the start of the second half. Back in a moment. This is Washita Sports Digital Network.
To advocate for basketball, to affect change, and to make impact. NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their, be able to advocate for what's affects their well-being. Policies that are being put in place are speaking towards well-being, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
While we have a moment, let's thank our entire crew, our producer and graphics tonight, Matthew Branch, technical director Brock Ingold, on replay is Chris McQuission, audio engineer Ryan Perdue, our cameras Mara Gillespie, Chris Gay, and James Jolly. And of course, it all could not happen without the services of Chris Babb. And big special thanks to the communications department for everything they have done this year to make me feel comfortable yet again here, my 5th year bringing you Washita basketball. And we just hope we can get back to normal by next year, have football on the Washita Sports Network. But before we look too far to August or September, it's a busy, busy week and month for the Washita Sports Digital Network and the students, because they've got Well, you name a sport, they've probably got it. They've got a lot coming up. Baseball and softball, tennis. I don't know if they ventured into cross country or not. That'd be interesting to take a production truck out to a cross country track. But I bet they'll do it if given the chance. So, 7-point game. Henderson leads Washita. Kind of look back over this first half. Well, Henderson started off really strong. They led by 20-plus points. 18. They led by 18 at one point. And then over the last 8-9 minutes of that first half, it was kind of like Henderson just started slowing things down, taking long possessions, ultimately grinding it out to where they weren't getting as good of looks. Sometimes you would think that perhaps that would provide more time for a better look, but Washita wants you to slow the game down. They don't mind you taking a shot deep in the shot clock because they want to grind it out, play a long defensive stand on you every single time. They feel like if they can get set, get in position, they can stop you and they're locked in. The running and gunning, the fast break, that's where teams seem to have an advantage against Henderson. So we'll see how quick Henderson comes out in the second half, what kind of strategy they have. If they'll try to start firing away and get up and down the court, run a little bit, or if they'll slow it down. Of course, Washita's got to have some production, though, out of K.D. Smith and Bankston. They can't go another half without those guys, and it sounds a little bit like a broken record, but Smith has been just such a key part of this team. He's got to score, and he's got to get 10 or 12 probably. And the reason being, that's going to open up some other guys that maybe you're already having to pick up the slack, but guys with less experience might get them open for some better looks once some of the attention goes to Smith and maybe even Bankston. So Leon Kalinic out there for Washita, same starting five of the second half as they had the first. DJ Kane, Darius Smith, Davion Bankston, and Marvin Williams-Dunn. And Washita has the first possession. A pass to Smith, and there you go. A one-hand pass from DJ Kane to a cutting K.D. Smith. And I guess they heard me. They got K.D. Smith involved right away on a backdoor cut. Raekwon Rogers, along with Malik Riddle, Xavier Davenport, and Jeremiah Toney on the floor. We've got a tie ball. Possession arrow goes to Henderson. And then Raekwon Rogers, and that's the starting five of the second half for the Reddies. They've now updated the standings, so Monticello and Southern Arkansas flip positions. Monticello's in first, Southern Arkansas in second. One on the shot clock. That's a shot clock violation. A great effort by Henderson's Jeremiah Toney to follow that and put it in, but it was too late. Just what we were talking about a moment ago, Washita wants that right there to happen, where they take you for 28, 29, even 30 seconds on a possession to where ultimately you put yourself in a bad spot, have to take a long shot. Marvin Williams-Dunn to the baseline. Now Smith, and he lost it. Well, Kane just kind of threw it low. Smith couldn't come up with that one. Unforced error, turnover that you do not want to happen right there. So a win for Henderson puts them just a couple of games back now that SAU has lost. And a loss drops them pretty close to Arkansas Tech Harding territory. It could get really jammed up 4 through 6. They are only one. Actually, they've got one more loss than Washita and 2 more wins. Of course, they're going by winning percentage. They have a 400 win percentage, and Washita has a 250 winning percentage. Basket for the Reddies makes it a 7-point game. Smith is going to try to really get going now. A 3 this time from KD Smith. And so he's hit 2 shots in this second half. 4-point game. After it was a 7-point game at halftime, blocking foul is the call. Kalinic doesn't get the call. Henderson players rush to their down teammate and pick up Jeremiah Toney. First on Kalinic. So Toney back to the line. And he'll hit that one. 23 of 41 entering this contest from the free throw line this season. Made one on a previous trip down in the first half. And 2 for 2 there. Got the defense chant from the Henderson bench. And, you know, there are fans in attendance, but it is an awfully quiet crowd. I think the masks have caused for some of that quietness. Pass stolen. Bankston in the clear. Will slam it home. Davion Bankston with the dunk. Back to a 4-point game. Ball poked out of bounds. We're in for a pretty good one here in this second half. It's going to go back and forth a bit. Defense chant from Ouachita again. So the ball in the hands of Malik Riddle. Riddle had 4 in the first half. Gives way to Toney, finds Rogers in the paint over Kalinic, and a foul. Kalinic had his hand up in the air. There's some body contact. And Leon Kalinic has picked up his second. You have to forgive me if I call him Kalinic. That's what I went with all last year. That's what we were told. Now we're told Kalinic. There actually is a difference in that part of the world. Just a C or the CH on the end. Rogers, free throw good. He's got 7. So Leon will take a seat. Matt Stanley is in. One more at the line for Rogers. 35 of 47 from the line, 74% entering tonight's contest. And his team up by 6 now. Full court press, it works. Toney's fouled and going to the line for an and one. My goodness. Well, Bankston throwing the ball inbounds, had it deflected. Then 2 mistakes. He ends up fouling the guy. And so Jeremiah Toney is at the line for an and one opportunity. What's the delay? We need a basketball for one. Shot clock maybe. They got that reset. Was at 14, got it back up to 20. So 1 for Jeremiah Toney. Like that, the lead's gone to 8. And that one doesn't go. Just about 3 minutes into the second half, and wonder where Ouachita's going to go for offense. Kane hangs in the air out to Smith. Smith hitting again, another 3. I think we've answered that question. Plus, we've got a foul that's going to give the ball back to Ouachita. KD Smith hits a 3, his second of the second half, to go along with a layup earlier, so he has 8. Raquan Rogers called for the foul. And that's the first foul of the second half against Henderson. Gives the ball back to Ouachita. What a play there. And, Katie Smith, he's hit 3 shots here in the second half. He just doesn't seem to do that in the first half lately. Doesn't take as many opportunities. They don't get him as many looks either. All of a sudden, it's like deja vu. His second half comes out, starts hitting shots, and then you can't slow him down. Several delays here in the second half to get things cranked back up. Inside to Stanley, blocked. Thought he had an easy 2. Good defensive play, however. Rogers setting a screen. A lot of traffic. We got a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Washita. Stanley talking to the official on his way back down. Full court press again from the Reddies. 5-point game, 38-33 Henderson. Still a long way to go in this one, but I don't think we're getting into any sort of record-breaking offensive nights. Somewhat low-scoring contest. Kane started the game with a 3. That seems like such a long time ago at this point. And mainly because he's been stuck on 3 points ever since after a couple of misses from the outside. Bankston over to Stanley, stripped away. Taken away. And that's Malik Riddle with it. Riddle one-on-one. That was halfway down and out. Rebound by Stanley. Here comes Washita. They look to fast break and they throw it away. Williams Dunn kind of throwing behind himself as he's going to the basket. That's a tough situation there. Media timeout hits at 15:53 in the second. Henderson 38, Washita 33. Back in a moment. This is the Washita Sports Digital Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Henderson averaging 73 points a game. Washita averaging 68 points a game. Both are on pace for something pretty close to that right now. One thing about when you play Washita, though, is they will limit teams on offense. When they played Harding the other night, they held the top 2 scorers in the league to just 20 points. Ramiro Santiago and Romeo Harvey were averaging 37 a game. They were held down to 20. So you're not always going to get your numbers when you play Washita, but you got to have some offense to hang in there with their opponent. Chenault's going to dial up a 3, and that's what he is in the game for. Graham Chenault, redshirt sophomore guard out of Bauxite, listed at 6'2", 180, has hit 2 3-pointers in this contest. And that will stretch the defense out a little bit when you have a guy like that playing on the perimeter who can hit the shots. 10 to shoot for Williams Dunn and Washita to Stanley. And he's working against Miholcic. We've got a jump ball. The possession arrow will go to Henderson. So the Reddies will take it on a good defensive stop is what it ends up turning out to be. A little more energy tonight from the Reddies from what I'm seeing on the bench. Helps when you have a lead, and they led by as many as 18 in the first half. almost wish you could give the Ouachita crowd some noisemakers or something to get them to do something. Holchich is able to score, and, well, there's that energy. There's a guy that obviously doesn't score a lot, the sophomore out of Serbia, because his entire team jumped up off the bench to celebrate his basket right there. He has played in all 10 games. He's averaging 1.7 a game, so there you go. His one basket for a contest right there, and it's out to a 10-point Henderson lead, and they have the basketball back. So Katie Smith started to do his part in the second half. He needs to be joined by Bankston and some others, but also start limiting some Henderson possessions, get some steals, force a few more turnovers. They'll call a blocking foul there. Stanley's not going to get all those calls, but, well, he does hit the hardwood a lot. He's not afraid to stand in and try to take a charge. Shaking his head at the referee. So he will come out of the game. And Madarius Hobson is back in. First time we've seen Hobson here in the second half. You get Stanley a breather on the bench, moment to cool off just a bit. So you got Kalinick and Stanley on the bench. A very small Ouachita lineup. They do come up with a steal. K.D. Smith with it. Oh, to DJ Kane, who was almost out of bounds when he caught that basketball on the sideline there. Hobson not afraid to shoot. Hit some big shots in the first half. Cross-court passes knocked out of bounds. Henderson just plus 1.5 in scoring margin, but Ouachita minus 8.5. Ouachita last in the league in scoring margin. And neither side really in the high percentage of field goal percentage. But there is Hobson. Needed basket. Davion Bankston, Bankston able to dunk that one and make it a 43-35 game. Marshall taken away. Bankston comes up with a steal. So, okay, maybe they're hearing me. No, they just know what they got to do. Mentioned Bankston a moment ago, making some plays. He was given some space there. The three doesn't go. Well, we have another jump ball. No, they let him play through it. And then we got a foul, and we got a little bit of a heated discussion here and some extracurricular activity taking place. Coach Bailey and Coach Nutt out there quickly down at that end. All of the Henderson players stayed on the bench. Coach Elgis stayed in front of the scorer's table, and the officials will take a moment to put their masks on, huddle up closely, and then sort this out. Yikes. Headed towards a bit of a delay here. Sure, you can go back and watch it on YouTube if you'd like. Looking at some of the replays that led up to this. Officials kind of have to say, okay, what did you see? This is what I saw. And so we had the two Ouachita players come in. Oh, wow, yeah. Well, typically it's the second one that gets noticed. And Ouachita's Marvin Williams-Dunn definitely shoved the Henderson player, but the Henderson player shoved first. And, of course, he was just trying to probably get Williams-Dunn off his back, who was coming in behind him. I think the referee should have called a jump ball before we ever made it to that point, but let's just forget about that for now. As many as they've called in this game, they somehow let that one go a little ways. And you got a guy running in from behind. He bumps the Reddies in the back, and then we got the tussle that happens after that. And that's Yuri Swinford for Henderson. 13:05 to play, second half, 43-35. Henderson leads Ouachita. They basically led the entire game. Ouachita had the first 3 points of the game, and since then, all readies. Coach Elgos has his players huddled up out on the court. Ouachita doing the same. Referee still standing in the middle, and one of the referees giving Coach Nutt an explanation now. So depending on how closely you look at that, it might have even been that Swinford went for him twice. Swinford had the first initial poke after the play was ruled dead, I think. But, of course, the initial real contact came from Marvin Williams-Dunn of Ouachita. And let's see. I'm surprised Williams-Dunn's going to get to stay out there. I think Elgis has done the right thing and made a substitution. Well, one of those situations where you're not on press road. Did they decide anything? There were no technical foul shots, anything of that nature. So did they just let it all go? I don't know. Goodness. All right, well. Ouachita has the basketball, and now we're going to see Raekwon Rogers come back into the game. Ouachita will inbound over by their bench. Bankston on the wing, gives to Hobson. 10 to shoot for Ouachita. Hobson, smaller defender, going against Rogers, and Rogers wins that battle there. Blocks his shot out of bounds. In fact, I think the basketball might have disappeared a little bit. See if they can find it. There it is. Got another one ready to go. They're actually going to swap them out. Yeah, maybe not. All right, well, 4 seconds now on the shot clock and the longest possession in the history of basketball. Here's Bankston driving on Rogers. 1 to shoot. Offensive rebound, put back good for K.D. Smith. Wow. After all that, Smith gets another basket. He's into double figures with 10, and he's going to the line for an and one and a 6-point game. Following up on the miss in the right place at the right time. 10 points, 2 rebounds for Smith so far in this one. Make it 11 points now. And he's close to that season average of 14 a game. A little bit of pressure in the backcourt from Ouachita. Out to Chenault. Drives all the way in, tries to leave it up for Rogers. Ball poked around. Bankston has it. And Bankston picked up. Now Smith. Smith controls against Chenault. Bankston looked to make a move. Kind of got some contact. Williams-Dunn, 15 on the clock. Long three. DJ Kane, good. DJ Kane connects from downtown. And it's a 2-point contest. After it was 43-35, it's now 43-41 as we hit 12 minutes to play in the second half. The Ouachita crowd comes to life a bit. Tony on the low block, strips. They'll call a foul. That's on Bankston, Davion Bankston. His third, and we've got immediate timeout with 11:56 to play in the second half, 43-41. Henderson still leads. Ouachita threatening. We're back in a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
The student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee that gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
Well, with cameras all around on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, I'm getting inside information that I just can't see from the fourth row from the top here in the nosebleed section. The basketball did land in the trash can on that block shot from Raekwon Rogers, so they did swap it out, had another basketball ready. So thought that's what happened, and then I couldn't quite tell if they made the exchange or not. So, yeah, you don't want the trash can basketball. Well, maybe that'll be the special recipe for Ouachita to get back in this thing. Things going well right now, but still down by 2. And, the women lost by 10, but they got the game within single digits after trailing by as many as 23, so you just never know. It's been kind of back and forth. Still got the women's basketball team here watching this one tonight. The Henderson players, most of them were here, some of them still here. Looks like some of them might have gone back. Free throws here for Jeremiah Toney, and the foul situation, Ouachita has 5, only 3 for Henderson. That could come into play in the next few minutes. Toney can't hit the first one. One more coming his way. Check in on some of the other games. We told you Monticello beat SAU earlier tonight. Harding and Arkansas Tech also playing as Toney goes 1 of 2 at the line, and that one has tightened up. Arkansas Tech 63, Harding 62 with 8 minutes to play, so they're just about 4 minutes ahead of us. That one might end before we're done. Hobson swings it back, extra pass into the corner. Kane, he was out of bounds. Out of bounds on the sideline there in front of the Ouachita bench. Tough spot to be in. Sometimes it's hard to be aware of your surroundings. So much of this run happening right now with smaller players on the floor for Ouachita. No Kalenic as Smith comes up with a steal. What's Smith going to do here? Steps to the three-point line and fires too far, too strong. Henderson quickly back the other way in Davenport. And now the Reddies will slow down just a bit. A missed opportunity there for Ouachita to get within 1 and maybe even tie. It's been a long time since they've had the lead, and they'll call a foul on Hobson. First foul on Hobson. You get Ouachita games, you get a lot of fouls. They like to grind it out. We've talked about it, play aggressive, but that's the 6th team foul on Ouachita, and that is an issue. The next one sends Henderson to the line for the rest of the game. Still 11-11 remaining. Pass back near half court and somehow gets all the way to the lane, to the rim even, as Malik Riddle, but he missed. Offensive rebound now Riddle from long distance. Good. Game's funny sometimes. Riddle had an easy layup and he missed it. Instead, he's able to connect from 20 instead. Henderson back up on top by 6. 2 possessions. Katie Smith has been almost perfect in the second half. Bankston still hasn't got on track. Need him to get a few more. Hobson, jumper no good. Ball poked free, it's Bankston. Picks it back up and in. Clean up basket there for Davion Bankston. Raekwon Rogers looks to make his presence felt. He's hit a lot of close shots on the interior. Can't get that one. He'll fight for the loose ball, go back up and hit. That's a big man. Raekwon Rogers now into double figures with 10, inside 10 to play in the second half. 6-point Reddy's advantage against the Tigers. Subs coming from both sides here in just a moment. A defense chant from Henderson. Kane with 6 to shoot. Blocked shot. Hobson comes up with it, falls down. Rogers will take it. Strong possession on defense there from Henderson. Washita couldn't get it going. Rogers, much bigger against Bankston. Stronger, goes underneath, but Bankston blocks the shot, and Davion stays with it. Davion Bankston got those long arms, went up with Rogers and blocked the shot. Bankston's open if they can get it to him. Kane's going to keep. Reverse layup is good, and one for DJ Kane. What a play. Haven't seen one like that in a while. Check it out one more time. Kane gets the basketball, goes up, reverse layup, plus the foul. Foul on Malik Riddle, his first. Kane, three-point play. We got a ball game. 49-46, one possession game as Washita a full court press, 9 minutes to go. Washita on a 2-3 zone defense. No Rogers on the floor. Yuri Swinford is back in for Henderson. Shot clock's winding down. 4 to shoot. Reddy's got to make a move. They go inside to Swinford with 2. Back out to Deere. At the buzzer, no good. And Lawrence Nero has the rebound for Washita. Tigers put the ball in the hands of Smith. A chance to get within 1. A chance to tie even. K.D. Smith fouled up top before he could make his move to the basket. Go against Yuri Swinford. Second foul, 15 foul, so an inbound coming. Rogers doesn't get much of a break. He's back in. Nero with 2 points in the game. We'll run the offense here with Bankston and Kane, Hobson, and Smith. Again, as we've said, a lot of this happening with a small lineup for Washita. Kane drives, had his shot blocked. Who's going to come up with it? It is Henderson basketball. Pretty good there by Chenault to be able to stay with Kane. And we got exactly 8 on the clock. So does the media come at the under 8 or now at 8? 3-point game, Henderson 49. And Washita 46. We're back in just a moment. This is the Washita Sports Digital Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can. And then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Well, it's game on here on Rivalry Monday in the Great American Conference. Not like it normally is. Can you imagine if we'd had the students here for this one tonight? It would be something else. It would be a lot of fun. It could still be fun. Got some fans in the stands, and we've got a good basketball game for you at the conclusion here. Final 8 minutes coming up. It's 49-46. Henderson holds a 3-point advantage against Ouachita, and what has been back and forth here in the last 6 or 7 minutes or so, but not exactly back and forth. Ouachita's yet to really gain the lead, but they've been close. Again, Ouachita is in a zone defense. And if you're playing against a zone and you're not hitting shots from outside, you better move the ball really quick and try to get a look, at the paint, the free throw line, something like that. When those shots don't fall from deep, all you got to do if you're the defense is just block out and you'll get that rebound, go the other way. That's what we've been seeing the last few possessions here. Smith over to Hobson. He will pull up, about an 8-footer, won't go. Bankston, offensive rebound. More time to work with for Ouachita. We're going to hit 7 minutes to play in the contest. 49-46 our score. Smith had it stripped. Smith has to hurry, down to 5. It's Bankston. Bankston will shoot. Looked like it was going to be good. Offline and out of bounds. Long possession there for Ouachita, but they do not score. This is similar to what Henderson did in the first half. They started really slowing it down. 10 on the shot clock. Taking some long shots. Rogers will set a screen for Deere. He's going to fire the 3. Can't get it to go. And a lot of missed threes from Henderson at this point in this second half. Here is Smith drawing the contact. He's going to be fouled. And K.D. Smith will go to the line. He's a great free throw shooter. If I'm Henderson, I'm personally getting the ball down to Raquan Rogers somehow. I know it's his own defense. You got 3 guys on the back there, but I got to get the big man the ball if I'm the Reddies right now. Smith hits. And so Smith at 12, 2 away from that season average of 14 a game. He's chasing the 1,000-point club. Entered the night just 88 away. Sorry, I couldn't read through the shield. So now with 13, and we got a 1-point contest. Foul near the half-court line. Not where you want to commit a foul. That's going to put the Reddies at the line for a 1-and-1. It's been a bit of a trend here for Ouachita. Get into foul trouble and send guys to the line with a lot of time to play, but Henderson's right there too. They've committed 16 fouls now, so a lot of free throws perhaps down the stretch. 1-and-1, that's good. The Henderson, or the Ouachita women shot just 1 free throw in their game. Henderson was only 3 of 4. We only saw 5 combined free throws in the women's game. 1 of 2 there. It's a 2-point game with 6 to play. Reddy's lead. We'll see how much Hobson, junior transfer, is involved on these next couple of possessions. Kane's going to drive with 10. Hangs, needs some help. Smith bails him out with 5 to shoot now. Smith drives in the paint, jump stop, hits, and 1 for K.D. Smith. 15 for Smith. And we are tied at 50. Chance for the Tigers to take the lead for the first time since it was 3-0, and they can't do it. That was at the 18:50 mark of the first half. Both teams went the first minute without a basket, so Ouachita has not led since the opening minute of the game. One-handed floater, no good from Davenport. Offensive board and a foul. Jeremiah Toney the rebound. Toney 4 of 7 at the line in this contest, pretty close to his season average coming in. And he will miss that one there. There's Rogers with a rebound. Rogers kicks it out. We're nearing 5 minutes to play. Davenport escapes his defender. The finger roll doesn't go in. Are you kidding? It was that close. Once again, tied at 50. Here's Bankston. High pass to Kane. Back around. Smith sets, shoots. He hits! Kendarius Smith, 18 points. And Ouachita, just like they did way back at the 1850 mark of the first half, have a 3-point lead. Reddy's coming back the other direction. They'll slow it down now. Out on the wing, it's Marshall. Rogers will set a screen for him. Marshall steps back. He launches. Can't hit. Tipped back in. Boy, Toney has been all around the rim. And Jeremiah Toney, a huge putback for the Reddies. It's a 1-point game. Ouachita leads near 4 minutes to go. Told you we were in for a good one. Ouachita, strong second half, making this thing close. Now leading. A drive by Lawrence Nero. Offensive foul. That's Rogers taking the charge. Offensive foul, no free throws. Second foul on Nero. 9th team foul on Ouachita. Next one sends the Reddies to the line for 2. Once again, those standings with Henderson at 4 and 6, Ouachita 2 and 5, big game. We could get really cluttered between 4 and 6, depending on a couple of outcomes tonight. And we'll give you an update of Arkansas Tech and Harding. That has 1:44 to go. Looks like Tech's going to win. They're up 82-71 now. Toney underneath, stripped. Ooh. And that foul's on DJ Kane. Media timeout. 3:43 to play. Ouachita with the lead on Henderson, 53-52. We're back in a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Ouachita has outscored Henderson in the second half, 30-22. After Henderson owned the first half, 30-23, and that puts us with Ouachita 53, Henderson 52. 3:43 to go in the second half. Michael Westbrook here with you on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Great rivalry contest between these two teams. Second regular season meeting of the year between Henderson and Ouachita. In any normal year, that would be the most you might see the two teams play each other. But in this year, they are still scheduled to play each other one more time on February 22nd across the street at the Duke Wells Center. And so free throw's good there for Toney. Remember to stay tuned in the postgame. We'll talk to head coach Dennis Nutt about this one. We'll Give you some scores from around the Great American Conference and the final stats as well. All that coming up in the post-game coverage. Tied at 53. Tony unbreaks the tie and gives the Reddies the lead again. Tony in 26 minutes has 12 points and 9 rebounds as he nears a double-double. What will the Tigers do here? Williams done in the game. Bankston, Kane, open, shoots. No, offline. That was obvious. And it is out of bounds. So you got Rogers and Davenport along with Tony, Malik Riddle on the floor for Henderson. And I think I got everybody there. Yep. Davenport guarded by Smith. Now the ball into the hands of Riddle. Riddle still has it. 5 to shoot. He drives, lost it, picks it back up, down to 3. Rogers from three-point range has to launch at the shot clock buzzer, and he hits it. Holy cow! Raekwon Rogers. When I said earlier he should have the ball, I didn't mean right there. Reddy's back up by 4 and with some momentum right now. 2.5 to go. Smith, jumper, good, buries it. KD Smith has 20 and we've got a timeout. We'll take it. 2:27 to play. Henderson 57, Ouachita 55. Back in a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I use social media to vent. I wish you would have thought about the effects of scaring people. I didn't mean for that to happen. People took it as a terrorist threat. University got shut down. I got arrested by the FBI. And now, I don't know what my future looks like. I search my name on the web almost every day. Look at this. It's not going away. Think before you post.
What a great ball game here. Great college basketball game tonight from Bill Vining Arena. 57 to 55 our score. Henderson has the lead on Ouachita. Let's look back over the last couple of minutes here with 3:43 to play. Tony hit a free throw to tie it up at 53 all. He hit both free throws, in fact, to make it 54-53. Rogers hit a three-pointer at the shot clock buzzer, putting Henderson up by 4 at 2:45 to go. And then Kendarius Smith came right back down for Ouachita, hitting about a 14-footer or so to make it a 57-55 game. And that's when Coach Dennis Nutt took the timeout and look back at that shot there. And so 2:27 to go. Reddy's basketball. 10 team fouls for Ouachita, 7 for Henderson. Trying to get Tony to hurry up to get down there to inbound, so they're ready to play. Not much of a full court press in the backcourt there. Henderson just being patient with it around the three-point perimeter, up by 2. Big possession. Stop here and a score. We got a tie game. A bucket here for Henderson. You're starting to run out of time. Rogers will be called for an offensive foul, knocking over Davion Bankston, who took the charge. Rogers' third personal foul. So we should be at about minute 35, minute 40 by the time this possession's over for Ouachita. Can they tie? Maybe take the lead? I'd put the ball in the hands of Smith. That's where they've got it. Smith, need a big shot. You got to go to him right now. 10 on the shot clock. Drives in, fading away. It's an air ball picked up by Davenport. A missed opportunity for Ouachita. 90 seconds to go. Henderson by 2. Rogers thought about a screen. They'll reverse it back the other direction. Damian Deere has hit some big three-pointers in this contest. He's staying on that three-point line. Now he drives. Ball is loose. It's out of bounds and off of the Reddies. Off of Henderson, so they give it right back. 1:13 to go. Bankston, Williams, Dunn, Hobson, Smith, and Kane on the floor. Coach Nutt is stuck with this lineup for quite some time. 60 seconds to go. Ouachita trails by 2. Kane out to Hobson. Hobson. Nothing there for him. 8 to shoot. Back into the hands of Kane. Shot clock winding down even more. Now Kane gets his defender in the air. Can't finish. And a rebound tracked down by Damian Deere with 40 seconds remaining. Deere's going to take it all the way, and a blocking foul will be called on Williams Dunn. Wow. Interesting there. Damian Deere saw something, thought he could get an easy basket perhaps. Two shots for Deere. It's 21 of 28 coming into the game from the free throw line, and he'll miss the first one. So now it wasn't worth it trying to go to the rim. Best you're going to get is one. Unless you get a rebound. You do have Rogers underneath there. And Deere, that was his first free throw of the game. One more for Deere in a 2-point contest, 39 seconds remaining, and he goes 1 of 2. So Henderson by 3, and we've got a timeout. We'll step away one more time here. 58-55 Henderson. Nah, just a 20-second. We'll stay right here for this one. 39.2 to play. Henderson 58, Ouachita 55, and there's a difference of 9 seconds between the game and the shot clock. Knowing Ouachita, you're wanting to extend this thing out as much as you possibly can. Not a team that shoots a lot of three-pointers anyways. I think you've got to get something just driving to the basket. I don't even know if you've got much time for the trick play or the backdoor cut or anything like that. I think you've got to get Smith maybe going to the basket. Maybe if they collapse on him, it opens somebody up from the outside for a shot. I could see Bankston taking a shot here, but I think they kind of like Bankston to go clean up the glass on the opposite side. So we'll see what happens. Hobson got to be careful. Henderson player charging in last second there. Williams Dunn has it. Bankston with 30 seconds. His team down by 3. Davion Bankston driving on the bigger Raekwon Rogers. Shot missed. No foul. 4-on-4 for a moment. And a slam dunk attempt from Jeremiah Toney. Henderson players came over to try to check on their player, and Coach Elgis told them all to retreat back to the bench in a hurry. He didn't want anything to get out of hand there. Hard foul for sure. Tell you what, Reddy's aggressive down the stretch here, but most teams might slow things down and wait for the foul to come your way. Toney took it right at him. And so Jeremiah Toney going back to the line. His team up by 3. Could potentially be the game-winning points here. We'll see what he does, but he's holding his wrist quite a bit, shaking his hand, his left hand. He's got 2. Toney 6 of 10 at the free throw line in this contest. Huge one right here, and he misses. So the Reddies, one of their last 3 at the line. This one is really important. 20 seconds to play. Toney's free throw is good. Ouachita's got to hurry now. 20 seconds down by 4. You got to have a really quick 2 or a 3 perhaps. Kane will step into it. 3 is short. Rogers the rebound. Out in front. Reddies are going to win this thing. Oh, the windmill dunk doesn't go. A little showboating for the Reddies. It doesn't work out. 3 seconds left. Missed shot. Bankston will try to put it back. He can't. And Henderson does still come away with a victory. 59-55 over Ouachita. Wow, what a game. Good college basketball game tonight. There's no handshake or high five after the game, I don't guess. Rogers goes over to fist bump one of the officials. I didn't really notice that in the other games, but, you know, everybody just keeping the players away from each other for COVID protocols and whatnot. Okay, we will talk with Coach Dennis Nutt about this one here in just a minute. I don't know if we'll get him tonight or not, folks. Crew, let's just watch here. I don't know if Coach Nutt's going to be coming out or not. We'll try to see what happens. Let's go over the final numbers right now, and then we'll take a break and see if he is going to come out. So 59-55 the final. Henderson wins. 19 of 45 from the floor. They shoot 42%. 8 of 18 from three-point range, 44% there, and they go 13 of 20 at the free throw line, 65%. Ouachita 22 of 57 from the floor. That's good for 38%. 7 of 19 from three-point range, 36%. And just 4 of 6 at the free throw line. What an interesting stat tonight. Ouachita only gets to the free throw line 6 times and makes only 4. And Henderson out-rebounds Ouachita 29-26, and 9 rebounds each on the offensive side of the glass. So Ouachita only had the lead for 93 seconds in this one as Henderson led for more than 36 minutes. We'll go through the individual numbers for you, looking at Henderson first. 4 points for Davenport, 10 for Deere, 7 for Riddle, 13 for Tony and Rogers, 6 for Chenault, 2 for Miholcic, and 4 for Marshall. Ouachita's numbers, 3 for Williams Dunn, 20 for Smith, 6 for Bankston, 9 for Kane, 2 for Kalenic, 2 for Scariolo, 2 for Nero, 5 for Hobson, 4 for Stanley. And Ouachita's leading rebounder, well, you had a couple of players locked in there with 4 rebounds. Actually, total rebounds, Bankston had 7, Smith had 5, Nero had 4, and Kane ends up playing 38 minutes tonight to lead his team in minutes played. Don't anticipate Coach Nutt coming out for this one, so I'm going to go ahead and give you the scores that I can give you, and then I think we'll be close to wrapping it up. The game that started at 6 o'clock tonight, Monticello now in first place after defeating Southern Arkansas by the score of 78-69. Also, Arkansas Tech ends up defeating Harding by the final of 89-76. And so we can actually give you the Eastern Conference standings now. Monticello is in first. Southern Arkansas is in second. You're going to see Henderson and Tech hold in that 3 and 4 spot. And it's also going to be Harding still at 5 and Ouachita at 6 with the loss. So really, 4 through 6 did not change. 1 and 2 just flips places, and there is still a lot of action to go to determine what the conference seeding is going to look like. Our next game is going to be, we are going to have Coach Nutt after all, so hopefully our camera guy will be ready here to get him hooked up. So, but the mic's right there. The mic is right there, guys, so he's telling Coach Nutt to go to the other end, but we have a student who is tracking down Coach Nutt, but our student is way on the other side of the court and not paying attention to what's happening there. So, well, Coach Nutt is an expert now. He knows how to turn it on. Turn that knob there. Hopefully you can hear me. Is the microphone on? The mic's not on. We get the mic turned on for him, guys. We got to get that figured out. All right, we get the mic turned on. We'll get Coach Nutt with us. Nope. Coach, you want to come up here and put this headset on? I can get a distance from you. You want to put the headset on? We'll have to do it that way. All right. No, just we'll just keep our distance. All right, Coach. So Coach's going to put the headset on here, and well, Coach, I mean, gosh, this is another one of these Ouachita games where you kind of get behind early, you battle back in the second half, and again, it was somewhat typical of what we've seen from Ouachita, except you'd like to have the win almost there. What did you think of this one?
Well, I tell you what, we did battle back. I told the guys that I applaud the effort. That part was there. We weren't very clean on offensive end of it. Give them a little credit for that. But I told the guys just a couple we have to get. You have to get. You had a couple stops. We're tipping, and we just don't come up with them. And unfortunately, hit shots on the back end of them. So that hurts.
Yeah, I haven't seen every game, of course, but what do you make of KD Smith getting 20 in the second half and hardly any shots in the first half? Is that they're keying in on him, making sure, or he's just slow getting going?
Yeah, I think that's more him. I think he has to get going and give us a full 40 minutes, and he's capable.
Yeah.
But I kind of took a little back seat there, I thought, first half. He just got to assert himself a little bit more, and he'll be okay.
I know you need your bigs to step up, but you also went with a little smaller lineup, and it was working out. They were playing really well.
Yeah, they were. We needed to spark. Just couldn't finish inside with the bigs, but they got to get back going again. They're a couple quarantine stops for those guys, so it's been tough. But they're fighting through it.
All right. Well, I'm trying to get my schedule clear for Thursday. I got something at school. We're going to see what happens. So hopefully I see you, Coach, and we're just all lucky to have any games right now.
I know it, man. We're
all
thankful.
right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, Coach Dennis Nutt, thanks for coming on with us, and we're going to wrap it up. So, again, thanks to our entire crew, and the final is 59-55. Henderson is able to squeak out with the win here in the rivalry Monday night matchup. Thanks to our entire crew, and thank you to you, the fans, for watching us today on what was our first doubleheader of the 2021 season. How about that? The final score, 59-55. Henderson defeats Ouachita. Until we talk to you again next time from Bill Vine.